Hi everybody, welcome back to the second part of the rocker replacement video. 1967 to 72 GM trucks in particular. Last time I ordered the kit panel, got them both in. Looking at it now, I'm gonna have to cut some more spot welds out, and then it should fit in right about here. So I'm gonna go ahead and bust these loose, which should free up the A-pillar on this side over here. So we'll be able to separate from the kick panel. And then once that's out, we could work at cutting it to get the rusted metal out and fitting in that new piece. So I got all the spot welds cut. It's not popping off though, which I suspect it is on this side right here. That's coming out. I suspect that has to do with the seam sealer that you're finding here. Up along here, that's probably preventing this from kicking loose. It was holding here. I already strafed a little bit out. You can see it. It's this stuff right here, a little chisel and a hammer. Usually goes right through it. It definitely freed up this part of the metal though, so I'm gonna try it along here, see if it releases. So that worked. It definitely broke them loose. It looks like I'm probably still getting stuck up right there, which is back down in this little bent over tab area. I'm guessing there's probably gonna be seam sealer right here. Usually when they have like these flanges that they butt weld and spot weld together, there's usually seam sealer happening in there. Yeah, that's all it was. You can see it move now. Okay. Did some sanding up here along this edge. There's a couple more spot welds that are holding the bottom of the kit panel in. Gotta bust those out. I'll probably come in from the inside with one of these spot weld splitters. I've seen it before. And just dig in that way and try and bust it loose. Okay, so it actually wasn't spot welder. It's just a lot of seam sealer that they used to seal this right here. So that's good because that would have been super hard to drill. Like when you put a metal panel in that you don't need all of and you need to get it fitted, you could put them together essentially and mark a common cut line, and you cut through both panels at once, so you get a really nice, clean, even surface to weld to, which I was thinking about doing, but obviously I can't do that because this one's in the way. This new kick panel has this flange at the bottom that has to get under there and then back up, and it's just not gonna fit. So I'm gonna do a cut right here, a little bit too low for what I actually want to replace, and just take that piece off, and then I'll use that common cut line, because once this is gone, I think I'll be able to fit that new one in, and then we should be able to use that common cut technique, which I really want to try. So we're back at it again with that tape game. I'm going to use this right here. Perfectly level. The same start point. Seems better. Where we cut right along here with the danger wheel. Okay, might have rushed that idea a little bit. Looking at it, one, I didn't line up my tape with my previous cut on the outside A-pillar, and I think that would just be a lot easier if I come through here, not with the danger wheel, but with the air saw, and just come across the bottom of this cut. Air saw worked pretty good. Cut through it like gravy, but my cuts are wavy, baby. I had to turn it right here to cut through this part. So now, with a little bit of flexing, this should come right out. It's out. You can see a little bit of seam sealer right here, and this kind of little indent. Oh, I just noticed on this flange, there is a spot weld right there, and I think that one will have to get drilled out. So there wasn't just one spot weld, there was also a little tiny weld, like a tack weld on the end right here. Maybe some additional seam sealer was holding it, but I had to drill here, get in it with a couple different ways with a chisel and break it apart. So it's loose now, but new panel, which the intent is to fit it right in here. We're close, but not quite. This piece here, I think needs to get cut up and over a little bit so I can test fit this in here. Then we'll do that common cut line that we were talking about. Okay, extended the cut up here. Try to come across here with the air saw. It's not enough to really get it. Ended up just using tin snips. And there's that piece out. So just went in there like this, snipped those. Seems to work. Now we're getting closer. All right, we're getting real close here. You can see the cut had to come up a little bit more. It's now fitting in, but it's not fully pressed up against the old kick panel. You can see I've pulled out about every tool to manage this so far, which I think is really the key to any project. If you come on the inside and you look at the new kick panel, you're gonna see there's actually a little hole right here. And I think this is like a hole to actually line the thing up because it appears to be in the same position as a spot weld right here. So once that spot weld's cut, this will be loose. Should be able to come through here, clear out all the seam sealer, and then press that panel fully in. So we're getting really, really close. It's now pressed all the way up against the old kick panel. I busted the rest of this seam sealer out right here. Drilled that spot weld. Probably didn't actually need to do that, but just wanted to see how it fit with that little hole that was in the new panel. So there it is right there. I think I went up maybe 1 or 2 too high on the spot weld cuts. You can see it's actually fitting pretty well. Usually these molds aren't that great. It is set down most of the way at this point only. Here, not so hot. Might have to do some relief cuts, press that down, fill that back. I'm gonna check the other side to see if this gap was here, if that was intentional for maybe like water to flow out this way, or if it's just bad fitting. Pressed in here, pressed in here. Fits this flange pretty well. So now we're at a point where we could do a common cut line across here, and then that'll give us a nice even line to do like a little butt weld. So popped on over to the other side over here and check that out. It does actually have that gap right there, so that's actually fitting pretty decently. Okay, I have it thoroughly clamped. I'm going to go behind the old inner panel with a silver tip Sharpie and mark out the 2 hole locations that I want to transfer into this new panel here. Once I have that in, I'll probably do a little trace line right along here, just so I kind of remember my alignment, and then we could pull that out and get it ready for cutting. So I have the holes marked in the back with the Sharpie. I'm gonna put the new, or the old piece up against the new piece, and then do the same thing on the front, just so I have a point of comparison. And hopefully that'll get me where I need to be. Ka-chow.